Well, welcome back, everyone, to week 2 of lead magnets that actually lead somewhere. So, last week we did something that many authors skip entirely. Instead of jumping straight into designing a freebie or opening up your Canva account, we slowed it down first and we built the foundation. Super important. We identified a couple things: one reader, one core need, one clear message, and one place where your lead magnet will eventually lead. Now, I know for some of you, this was harder than you expected, but you did a great job. And choosing one reader can really feel uncomfortable because as authors, we naturally think my message is for many people. And that may be very well true, but clarity always begins with the one. So when we clearly understand who we're serving, ideas begin to form naturally. The message is going to become sharper, the solution becomes clearer, and the resource we create becomes far more helpful. So today we move from clarity to creation. Super exciting. Okay, we're not going to design anything yet, which is my actual favorite part, but we're not going to open Canva yet. So instead, we're going to begin by shaping the lead magnet itself by asking ourselves a very important question. And that is, what would actually help your reader right now? So we're going to, see, I'm not very good at running my own slides. So there's the first one that talked about what we did last week. We identified one reader, one core need, one clear message, and one place that our lead magnet is going to lead. Now, if you didn't get all of those perfectly, it's okay because it'll continue to flesh out as you move forward. So here's where we begin. The big principle, the big idea. Before we really start to walk through the steps, I want to share with you one of the most important principles for creating a lead magnet. Your lead magnet should give your reader a quick win. So people don't usually download something because they want more reading. They download something because they want some help. Think about your own behaviors online. When do you actually click something? When do you actually take the time to download it? Usually it's when there's something that promises clarity. Maybe it's encouragement or a solution. Perhaps it's your next step or it's relief from something that you're struggling with. Most people are not thinking, oh, I would love to download a 40-page resource today. But they're often thinking this: I wish someone would help me. That moment is where a good lead magnet will step in. A strong lead magnet is simple, focused, and immediately helpful. It doesn't try to solve everything. It simply helps the reader take one meaningful step forward. We're going to give them more steps later, but let's get them into our system by creating this. And that's what we're going to start shaping today and this week. So let me pause and ask you something to think about. Think about your reader, the reader that you identified last week. What is the one thing they would feel relieved to find help with this week? Not someday, not theoretically, but right now. Take a moment and think about that, because the best lead magnets solve problems today. And if you're watching this after the recording, you can actually push pause right now and just really write down a few things about what it is that your reader would feel relieved to find out this week before you move on. Now, I'm going to walk you through the 4 steps we're going to walk through slowly this week, but I want to give you a good overview of it. Oh, there's my question. See, told you I wasn't very good at slides. So here's our question. What would my reader feel relieved to find help with this week? Press pause. Okay, so now we're going to choose the type of lead magnet. Now, once we understand the reader and their need, the first step is deciding what type of resource would help them most. Now, lead magnets can take many different forms depending on the style of book you're writing. For nonfiction or maybe Christian living books, a lead magnet might look something like a checklist, a short guide, a devotional, a prayer guide, a worksheet, or even a 5-day challenge. Now, for fiction authors, lead magnets often look different. They might include a bonus chapter, a prequel story, chapter backstory, discussion questions, or even a reader guide. Now, for children's books, those authors may create activity sheets or coloring pages. Maybe you'll create a parent discussion guide or simple lesson ideas. Bible study authors might offer sample lessons, scripture reading plans, a teaching video, or reflection questions. There's really no one correct format. The real question is simply this: what format would help my reader move the fastest? So let me ask you something. If you could hand your reader something today that would help them immediately, well, what would that look like? Would it be a short guide, a worksheet, a devotional, maybe another story? Let's just sit with that idea for a while, because often your first instinct is already pointing you in the right direction. Now, step 2, let's identify quick wins. When we move into this second step this week, and this is where the real strength of your lead magnet does begin to take shape. It's going to begin to form. So every strong lead magnet delivers a quick win. A quick win simply means that your reader experiences one small success quickly, right? Quick win. They finish the resource and they think, well, I'm really glad I found this. That quick win might look like clarity about a situation, encouragement during a difficult season, a simple next step they can take, a new perspective, or one practical action they can begin. So let me give you an example. Imagine a lead magnet titled A Complete Guide to Raising Virtuous Children. That sounds helpful, but it also sounds really heavy. Now imagine something titled 5 Simple Conversations to Teach Kids the Importance of Keeping Their Word. Now that feels doable. It feels immediate, and a parent might even think, I could use that today. That's the power of a quick win. So let me ask you another question. After your reader uses your lead magnet, what do you want them to say about it? Maybe it's something like, that helped me understand something I've been struggling with, or that gave me hope, or that showed me what to do next. That sentence often becomes the compass for the entire lead magnet. Now, the next step we will do is step number 3, and that is outline the resource. The third step is where many authors begin to feel relief, because this is where we simplify the project. We're not creating a huge resource. We're simply creating a simple structure. You're not even creating the content for the structure, just the structure. Most effective lead magnets follow a pattern that looks something like this. And I have it outlined for you on the slide. A short introduction that connects with the reader situation. 3 to 5 helpful ideas, insights, or examples. A few reflection or application questions. And then a clear invitation to do what's next. That's it. Not 25 pages, not a full curriculum, something that is light and usable, something that's going to lead them to you and lead them to additional content. You don't have to put all your content in one place. Remember this principle. Simple gets used builds trust, trust builds relationships, and relationships build readers. Let me ask you something that often helps me simplify things. If your lead magnet could only include 3 helpful ideas, what would they be? Just 3. When authors can answer that question, everything suddenly becomes clearer. So take a minute and answer this question. If your lead magnet could only include 3 helpful ideas, what would it be? All right, step 4, and this will be our final step for this week. Again, I'll walk you through step by step each of these with even more detail as we go through the week. But step 4 is this. We're going to start thinking about titling. Now, your lead magnet title should communicate value immediately. A helpful way to think about this is that your title should answer one simple question. What problem does this help solve? So a simple formula that works well is going to really help your reader. So for example, we might say something like 5 conversations to teach kids the importance of keeping their word. Or if you're writing perhaps a nonfiction or maybe your memoir, a 7-day devotional for women healing from betrayal. Or something like Hope in the Waiting, encouragement for singles, women trusting God's timing. The reader should immediately understand this might help me. So let me ask you one more question. If someone saw your lead magnet title in a post, would they immediately understand what it helps them with? If the answer is no, it's perfectly okay. That's exactly why we're walking through this process together. So this week in our Facebook group, we are going to move from clarity to concept. We already have discovered the clarity for what our project is. Now we're going to move into conceptual ideas. So inside the Facebook group, I'm going to guide you step by step through choosing the type of lead magnet, identifying the quick win it delivers, creating a simple outline, and shaping a clear working title. Each exercise is going to take you about 10 to 20 minutes, nothing overwhelming, just steady progress. By the end of the week, you should clearly know what you're building. And once you know that, creating the lead magnet is going to become much easier. So I will see you in the group first thing tomorrow with the very first step. Let's keep building something that truly serves your reader.